We're going to begin today's class lying down, hands on the belly, focusing on the rhythm of the breath. Feet hip width parallel, like bent. And as you focus on your breathing, let your shoulders relax, spine, face. And now as you exhale, press your lower back into the floor. And as you inhale, lift your lower back away. Exhaling, pressing your back. Inhaling, lifting back. Going. Good. As you press your back, you're going to release your hands down to the floor. And as you lift your back, take your arms overhead. You're still following the breath. Exhaling, arms back beside you, press your lower back. Inhale, lift your lower back, float your arms overhead. Good. As you bring your arms down beside you, pressing your lower back, lift your heels. Place your feet back down as you lift your lower back and take your arms overhead. We're going to keep repeating, lifting the heels as you press your lower. Inhaling, arms and neck relax. Letting the breath guide the movement. Good. Last one. And then lift the legs straight up. Press your lower back. Take the arms up. So keep your lower back in contact with the floor. Point the toes. Lift the fingertips. But relax your neck. Good. Gently swing a little. Legs one direction, arms opposite. But without lifting the skin of your lower back away from the floor. If you drop the legs just a little bit towards the floor, you'll feel that this is stronger in the core. So you might need that, or maybe you don't. So the closer the legs are to the chest, the easier for the front core of the body. Choose how it works. Keep the skin of your back in contact with the floor. And back to center. Good. And then hug your knees in and rocking a little bit from side to side. Good. And you can roll to your side or cross your feet at your ankles and roll up. And we're going to be in an all fours position. And in all fours, take your knees back. So you've got quite a distance from your hands to your feet. And lean your torso forward a little. So the further forward the shoulders are to over the wrists, and the more the front core of the body will be working. So you determine how far that's going to be. And just start to swing the hips a little from side to side. So the further back the knees are, the stronger the movement. A little bit from side to side. Good. Come back to center and make some wave-like movements. We're bending the torso forward and back. You can bend your elbows as necessary. See if you can get your spine to wave forward and back. Nice work. And then we're going to lay down onto our tummy. So this is where a blanket might come in handy. You can put that down underneath your tummy, your hips. I've got a soft carpet here, so I'm all good. All right, so hands under the shoulders and lift up your torso, or not all your torso, the top bit, the shoulders, the breastbone, looking forward. Press the tops of the feet down, the buttocks towards its center line. Take some deep breaths. Good. Now, as you lower down, see if you can reach your torso forward so you feel a little bit longer than when you left the floor. Good. And again, lifting the top part of the torso, breastbone, shoulders lift, looking forward. Elbows in, elbows back. Feel the back, core engaging. Good. And as you lower back down, lengthen the front of the body. And again, press the tops of the feet, lifting the breastbone, elbows in, elbows back, looking forward. Good. Now we're going to go again, and you can keep your hands under your shoulders. That provides that little bit of extra support. Take your arms down beside you, palms up. Again, lift the top part of the torso, lift the palms, reach the fingertips back, looking forward. As you exhale, lengthen the torsos to lay back down. Good. And again, lifting, arms lift, palms lift, fingertips reach back. And we're going to lower down. We're going to do 2 more of those. Feel the weight of the lift supported by the muscles of your back core. Follow the rhythm of your breathing. Good. And we're going to rest this time. Put your hands softly under your forehead. Rest your shoulders, your chest, upper back and neck. Good. And wobble a little bit your pelvis across the bulk of the thighs. So we're wobbling and loosening a little the joint between the vertebra and the sacrum. Nice. All right, keep your head resting symmetrically on your hands and lift up just your right leg off the floor. Stretch it out nice and long. And we're going to squeeze that right buttock muscle. You feel like you're really employing muscle in the back of the body to lift the leg. Good, and then lower that side down. And then squeezing the left buttock muscle and lifting the left leg nice and high. Satisfying breath. Release. And right leg. And release. And left leg. Good. And release. Now, we're going to go a little bit stronger. So if that feels okay, I'm going to have trouble with this chair in front of me. We're going to take the arms out straight. and your forehead is on the floor. We're going to lift the right leg and the left arm and look up. Good, and then release. And then the left leg and the right arm and looking up. Good, and release. Next side. Right leg, left arm, really lifting, really reaching. Try to keep the limbs fairly parallel to each other. Left leg, right arm. Good. And lay the forehead back down onto the floor. Take your arms back beside you now. Turn your face to one cheek and just let everything in your back body relax. Good. And then onto your forehead. Interlock your hands behind you. We're going to press the heels of the hands towards each other and the knuckles away from the ears, as far as you can from the ears. And then lifting the front part of the torso and lifting your arms, if you can, off the pelvis. Lifting the knuckles and looking forward. Good. And then release your hands. Release your arms down beside you. Turn your face to the opposite cheek. Oh, yeah. Good. And then we'll repeat. So onto your forehead. Interlock your hands the other way. Try to press the heels of the hands towards each other. Take the knuckles back. Good. And then we'll lift the torso as much as you can. Lift the knuckles. Reach them back. Good. And then release. Turn your face to the other cheek. Good work. Hands underneath the shoulders. We're going to press up now and lift your torso as far off the floor as feels like a nice back bend. You don't want to crunch your lower back. Keep your elbows on the floor or your hands further forward if you need to. Otherwise, we're lifting up where it feels like a good move in that direction, back bending. Lifting the breastbone, looking up. Good. Lay back down. Turn your face to the opposite cheek. Rest your arms beside you. And let the back body board. Good. Bring the elbows under the shoulders now. This is for a plank or a modified plank. We've got the forearms parallel to each other. Good. Now, if you're lifting up into the modified plank, you just lift as much of your front body off the floor as you can. So you might just be lifting your belly. Maybe you can lift the pubic bone and be on the knees. Or maybe you can tuck your toes under and lift your whole front body off the floor. Good. And then lowering back down. Take the arms beside you. Turn your face to the opposite cheek. And really relax. Good. Hands underneath the shoulders. And we're going to push back up into our all fours position. This time, shoulders over the wrists, knees under the hips. And rocking gently back and forward, make your wave-like movement. Make them as small or as slow as feels really good. been concentrating on that strength in the lower back. So you might notice that it feels a little bit tight there. So find movements that ease that tension. Get the tissue moving in and around each joint. Good. And then we're going to kneel up, and this is where a blanket can be very useful. So a nice thick blanket for underneath the knees. If for some reason kneeling just doesn't work, you can do this standing. Okay, so we've got the knees about hip width, so the legs are parallel, feet are hip width. We're going to tuck the toes under, so you're right up on your heels. Right up on your toes. Heels are up. Take the right arm up by the right ear, and we're going to make a sort of backstroke swimming motion, and then left arm. Just take it at a rate that feels like it's opening the sides of your body, the front of the body. And if you have any discomfort in your lower back, really try to use your legs more. So lifting the front of the thigh, lifting the front of the hip, really supporting the spine. And reaching. Okay, we're going to do both arms back. And where they're going to land is turn the palms to face forward, bend your elbows, and put the palms against the back of the pelvis. Try to have the elbows in and the elbows back, and feel that lovely lift in the front of the thighs, stretching along the front of the hips. Lift the belly, lift the breastbone, and looking up. Good, and then release and stretch both arms up by the ear. You can come back into the same position with the hands if that was big enough movement. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can take your hands further down the back of the thighs. Really lift the front of the thighs, front of the hips, looking up. Nice deep breath. Good, and then again, release the arms, look up. And you can go to the same place, back of the pelvis, back of the thighs, or even reach down onto the heels. Now, don't do that if you've had a separation at the abdominal muscles in the front of your body. And support where it feels just right. Like a back bend where you can express that strength and length. You're not hurting or damaging yourself. And then release. Nice work. Back into all fours. And rocking a little bit forward and back. Again, getting the tissue moving between the joints. Great. Come up into your kneeling up position. It's only momentary. Step your right foot forward. Bring the hands down onto the floor, and we're going to lift the back knee away from the floor. So we're in a deep lunge. Good. And you're going to bend that front leg plenty so that you can reach the torso forward, almost like starting a run kind of. Yeah. Good. Drop your back knee to the floor lightly. Might be up on your fingertips. You can put your hands down flat. Good, but see if you can keep lifting the breastbone. Good. Now we'll straighten the back leg. And we'll start to straighten the front leg. See if you can keep your ribs close to that front thigh. Now the front leg might not go very straight. That's all right, but keep the breastbone forward. That feeling of a back bend that we've been working on. So straightening both legs. to that point where you're feeling a strong resistance in the leg, but you still have a sense of your back bend shape. Nice deep breath. Good. And then to swap legs, we're going to gently drop the back knee to the floor, step back into your kneeling up position for a moment, left foot forward. Good. And we'll start off, just straighten the back leg, see how that feels. Bend your front leg as deeply as you can to get the torso forward. To lift the breastbone. Drop the back knee very gently towards the floor. Reach forward a little bit further with the torso, lift the breastbone. Good, and then we're going to start to try and straighten both of the legs. But keep the torso forward. Keep the breastbone forward. You might have to come up onto your fingertips. Good, so we encounter the strong resistance, especially in the left leg, but we're keeping an ease to the spine. Good. And then dropping the back knee gently to the floor, stepping the left foot back, and we're going to rest for a moment into child's pose. So in child's pose, we take more of a forward bend in the spine, paying attention to the sensation there. Where can you let go of tension? Is it more difficult to let go of tension when you are still? Or is it a different pathway? Good, and then inhale and come up. And we're going to come up to standing. If you can, try and tuck your toes under, roll back through a little squat and lifting up. Good. We're going to take the hands behind the hip and interlock the fingers again. Have the feet hip width and parallel. I'm going to reach down with the knuckles, try to get the heels of the hands together. And then hinging forward into a forward bend, but feeling ease along the spine. We're not making a rainbow shape, letting the skin over the spine be relaxed. Good, and then we're going to lift the knuckles, stretch them back. So from the ears to the shoulders, lengthening and breathing deeply. Good, and then rolling up and arms up. And then release. And second side, so other index finger on top. Try to get the heels of the hands together. Press the knuckles down. Gentle forward bend. In the spine, easy. The skin relaxed. Nice. And then see how you go. Lifting your hand, reaching the knuckles back, reaching the top of the head forward, sides of the neck along, tops of the shoulders along. Breathing deeply. Good. And then release and rolling up. Nice. Wait, so you can see feet are still hip width. We'll take the arms out by the side. Cross your upper arm, your right upper arm over your left upper arm. And then you can hold your shoulders, your thumb, or face the palms. And we're going to lift the elbows, but take the shoulder blades down to the back of your neck, feel at ease. Good. And then bend your knees and forward bend. And you can just let the arms be heavy here. Just let your neck be relaxed. We're going to start to sway a little bit from side to side. Explore the movement in your lower back, the support of the core of the body here. Back to center. And then rolling up. And arms up. And take them out nice and wide. Open the heart, the chest. Good. And then swap sides. Left upper arm over the right. You might reach your shoulders, your thumb, or face your palm. We try to take the shoulders, the elbows up here, but don't hunch the shoulders into the neck. Draw them down. Feel your back bend shape and take that forward. Good. And then gentle sway from side to side. And back to center. And rolling up. Take the arms out wide. Nice work. Now, we're going to take tree pose, Virksasana. And it can be very useful to stand near a wall or have the back of a chair facing you. Standing on one leg. So I'll look opposite to you. Take your right foot out, your toes out. Another way of practicing this free balancing, even if you feel a little bit wobbly, is to keep your toes on the floor. Good. Or you can take that foot up onto your leg or where. Above the knee or below the knee. Try not to press your knee out. Good. And we're going to find the core of the body. So bring at least one hand onto your belly. Good. Feel the lift in the front torso, the reaching down in the shoulder blade, the lift of the pelvic floor. Good. And arms up by the ears. Okay. And then release that side. Nice work. Left toes out. You can keep your tiptoes at the floor. You can plant your foot below or above your knee. And then find the core of the body. Center yourself around the core. Feel that lift in the front of the body. Shoulder blades reaching down. Good. Arms up by the ears. Nice work. And release. We're going to take the legs out wide. Turn the toes out and drop the hips. We're going to come into a forward bend. And you can hold your legs if you don't reach the floor or have your hands down on the floor under your shoulders. A nice wide distance. And straighten one leg, bend the other from side to side. can walk your hands if you're getting quite a lot of movement to help you go further. You can turn it into a squat on each side by taking the sit bones down to the heel. If you're doing that, I'm lifting the straight leg up onto the heel, lifting the toes up. Back to center and think about how to sit from here. So I'm going to bring my feet in closer to do that. There's lots of ways that it could be done. So just make it something that you're really considering, however it works for you to sit. I made an elegant attempt. Ah. We're going to take the arms behind. So simple sitting, what is most comfortable for your leg. But take the arms behind and see if you can hold your wrists or forearms, maybe even your elbows. And some people might be able to do prayer position here. The arm bind behind is keeping a back bend shape. And we're going to explore with a sort of a pendulum swing forward and back, our forward range of movement. Notice where the body resists as you start to get that forward momentum. Where there is challenge or tightness, sometimes even discomfort or pain. So not so far, of course, that it would cause pain, but taking notice. Hold your forward position as far forward as your body will reach. But notice your arm bind, holding your back bend, the space around your heart. Reach the top of the head further from the sit bones. You also notice the length of your spine. However your hands are holding, keep them relaxed. Good. And then we're going to dip back up, lift back up, and dip over to the left side. Back up, over to the right side. Keep that, back up to center. Over to the left side. Back up, and over to the right. Nice work. Release arms and legs. And if your legs were crossed, cross them the other way. Good. Let's take an arm bind again. And if you had one arm on top, try and have the other arm on top. Hard to remember. Probably the one that feels a bit unnatural. If you're doing prayer position, nice, symmetrical. Good. So feel the back bend shape and just forward and back. Exploring. Letting what is tight be tight. What feels supple, supple. And appreciating your movement. Even if it feels like it's a small achievement. What lets you pick up things from the floor? What keeps you moving? Good. And then we're going to hold our forward bend. Relaxing now, letting the torso lengthen. Good, and then inhale and come up. And we're going to go to the right and coming back up. Right, center, and work releasing. And we're going to lay down now. Take the blanket and put it underneath your sacrum. And we're just going to relax the back for a few breaths here. Let the belly hollow as the spine makes a sling shape down to the floor. Have the hands on the belly. Legs are bent, hip width. And then gently releasing, take the blanket out. Bring the inside edges of the feet together, arms out from the shoulders. We'll lift the hip and swing the knees to the right. And if you want a bigger feeling here of the stretch, you can take your top leg out to straight and really reach out with that leg. Try to keep the left shoulder blade on the floor, and if you look over the left, you get that bigger stretch. Good core awareness to lift your legs with ease through your spine. Ease through support and strength. Back to center, lift your hips and swing them right. Knees go left, and you can make it a bigger stretch if you take your right leg out to straight. We'll keep the right shoulder blade on the floor, or in that direction, and turning to look over. Good, and then thoroughly supported core as you come back to center. Just got to crack right down my whole spine. That was really nice. Bring your knees in and rocking a little bit from side. Good. And lay your legs out to straight and just let your legs fall out. We've done a lot of work on back bending, very strengthening for the back, core, body. Notice the spring in your lower back. Just now letting that relax. Letting your whole body relax. Please stay if you are able to do that in Shavasana. Namaste. If, like me, you need to finish your practice, wiggling your arms, your hands, your feet, your legs. Bend your legs in so you can roll to your side. And when you're ready, come up to sitting. With your hands in front of your heart. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.